I offer my most loving pranams to the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Dear elders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Sai Ram. Have you ever known someone who appeared to have most of the things that everybody is looking for in life? Money, prestige, popularity, a good profession or a good job, nice car, most of the things that everybody is working really hard to get. And yet, that person appears to be unhappy and frustrated with life. Have you known anyone like that? Have you been like that ever in your life? Maybe some of you did. This is where I was when I first knew about Swami. I was a very successful psychiatrist, making good money, buying nice cars. Actually, I had 2 Porsches. Why 2 Porsches? Why do you need 2 Porsches? You just can't drive one at a time. Why would I need both? I did. Because I kept buying and buying and buying material things, like expensive cars and other things. And I was supposed to be very happy with all the things that I had gotten. But I was miserable. I was very unhappy. Because I had the misconception, I had the false belief that happiness comes with a lot of material things. Celebrity status, prestige, that will make you happy. I thought. Not to me. I didn't even care much about God. I wasn't an atheist. I knew there was some kind of God somewhere out there, but I didn't care about him or her. But him did care about me. God, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, before even I knew it, before even I knew about him, cared about me. And this happens quite often. You don't know it, but Swami cares about you, and Swami is taking care of a lot of your problems. And you don't even know about that, but he does. So, I was so down. Being a psychiatrist, I know I was depressed. Not severely depressed, but I was depressed. I was depressed about life. I kept thinking all the time, if this is what life is all about, work hard, make money, buy things, be happy. I'm not happy. I don't think that I want to go for the rest of my life doing this. So I kept thinking, what do I need to do to have more meaning, more purpose with my life? Just work, make money, buy things, and supposedly be happy. It wasn't working for me. So I have always been an avid reader. I like to read books. I like books. I love books. I haven't read any interesting books in a long time. Just work, make money, buy things, and be happy. So one day, one night, around 8 o'clock at night, I thought, well, I like to read books. There has to be a book somewhere that will change my life, that will give some more meaning and purpose to my life. I don't know what that book will be, but it has to be something. So I went to Barnes and Noble, which is one of the bookstores in Jacksonville, Florida, where I live. And I started looking at different things in the different shelves. When I see this strange-looking person in the top shelf with a orange robe and a big afro. And I thought, who is that? And then I read the title of that book. The title was A Catholic Priest Meets Sai Baba by Mario Mazzoleni. Before I went into medical school, I was going to be a Catholic priest. I was going to be a Jesuit. So that caught my attention immediately. Because I know that Catholic priests don't meet anybody, don't care for anybody. They just care for the church, and they just care for Jesus. There is not such a thing as somebody else, strange looking. So I got the book. I was glancing through it and appeared to be somewhat interesting to me. I thought, okay, I'll buy it and see what is there. I bought it around 8, 9 o'clock that night, went home, and I couldn't put it down until 5 a.m. next day, and only because I had to go to work at 8. And if I don't sleep at least 2 or 3 hours, I will be really a mess in dealing with my patients. So I put it down, took it with me to my work, to my office, and in between patients, there is always 5, 10, 15 minutes in between patients. I will take it out of my drawer and read maybe a page or two. When the next patient came, I put it back. I was so fascinated with the life of this Sri Satya Sai Baba that I didn't know anything about. So I read the whole book in one day, 1.5 days. Next day, I want more. I want to know more about this. So next day, I go to the same bookstore and I ask them, hey, I want to buy more books about Satya Sai Baba. Which do you have here? So the clerk goes into the computer and checks the computer, and he says, no, we have never sold any books about Satya Sai Baba. I said, what? I bought a book yesterday. And then he says, no, you might be confused. There is another bookstore across the street, Books A Million is called. You must have gotten that book from Books A Million, and you are just a little bit confused. I said, no. I know I was here. I know exactly where that book was, and I even have the receipt from this store in my home. I know I bought it here. So he goes again and checks it. He says, no, I don't know, but we have never sold any books about Satya Sai Baba. I don't know how to explain this, how you got it here and bought it, but I don't know what to say. So, who put that book in that shelf that night when I was looking for purpose and meaning to my life? Who put it there? You all know. You all know who did it. And needless to say, from that day on, my entire life changed. Total transformation. a lot of meaning, a lot of purpose, a lot of happiness. Thanks, Baba. Because Baba revealed to me one time, not in person. I won't go into that story because it will take too long. But Baba told me one time that, and this is his words, because of my grace, you found me 10 lives earlier. I was not supposed to know anything about Baba until 10 more lives, until 800 or 900 more years, not knowing Baba. But because of his grace, I found him in this lifetime. Dear brothers and sisters, when I was at the bottom of my problems with a life that I didn't enjoy, because happiness comes from inside. And for happiness to come from inside, we have to have God in our lives. You may or may not believe in God. I don't know. But I am telling you, if you don't have God in your life, you are missing a lot. A lot. And I bet you if you don't have God in your life, you are as unhappy as I was at that time before I got him, before I found him, or rather, before he found me. I thought I found him in the book. He found me. Baba is the one who finds people. Baba is the one who attracts people to him. We think we go to him. No. He attracts us to him. So after he found me, my life was a total transformation. So I am here today because I want to share with all of you some tips about what to do when things are not going right, like my life at that time. It was totally wrong. And my main problem at that time was not having God in my life. Life has all kind of problems. Actually, somebody says, life is a problem and then you die. I don't know if it is that bad, but some of the Buddhist thinking goes along that way. Buddha didn't say that, but some of his followers say, life is a problem, and then you die. Wow. So, what do we do when we have problems that are messing up our lives? What can we do? What can we do to stay close to Swami? Before I go into telling you what we do, let me tell you what we shouldn't do. You see, the whole problem happens because we have expectations. We expect things from life to go in certain way. And when that doesn't go in that way, then we are frustrated and angry. Or we blame Baba, we blame Swami. Have you known people who get disconnected, angry, separated from Swami when things don't go their way? Have you ever met anyone like that? I'm sure you do. Maybe some of you did it too. Hopefully that passed, and this is why you are here today, because it was a temporary thing. So, let me share with you a story. Baba's story. When Baba called me for the very first time for an interview, I was so happy. I was so thrilled. Finally, after 4 years, going to Prashanti Nilayan 3-4 times a year, expecting Baba to call me for an interview each trip, you shouldn't expect that. You know, the best way to go to Prashanti is expecting nothing. Don't expect anything. And people told me that. And I said, okay, I don't expect anything. I was expecting an interview all the time. I can be honest now, because I got the interview. I can tell you the truth. But I was all the time expecting Baba to call me. So finally, after 4 years, multiply 4 by 4, maybe 15, 16 trips, and who knows how many times for darshan, Baba calls me. And once he calls me inside the interview room has two rooms, one big room where he has a number of people, and then one intimate little room in the back where he calls sometimes people and sometimes he doesn't. So he called me to the back room, to the little one. It was just him and I there. And the love energy that comes from Baba is so powerful that when you are in his presence, for some reason, at least that happened to me and has happened to other people I have heard, you become dumb. You become stupid. You don't think. Your thinking process is totally messed up. You just stay there looking and loving at this loving God who is right in front of you. So I'm there, I don't know what to say. I'm totally confused. And Baba asked me with a very, very loving voice, what do you want? Which is a kind of question that he asks many times during interviews. What do you want? To this day, I don't even remember what I said, but I thought it was a little bit not very good answer. And then we talked. We talked about different things. And then I came out confused. I couldn't even find my cushion right in front of me. I was sitting in the veranda at that time. And I was just a few meters from the interview room. And my cushion was right there, like from here to there, on the floor. I couldn't find it. I was so in another world because of Baba's loving energy that I couldn't find my cushion. So finally found it, sit down, digested all of this love and the conversation that I had with him. And then I made a resolution at that time. I thought, if Baba always or sometimes calls me again, you never know. You never know if he will call you or not. You hope he will call you, many times maybe, but you never know. So I thought, if he ever calls me again, next time when he asks me, what do you want? I will give a Baba intelligent answer, like Dr. Sunan said this morning, Baba, I want you. Baba, give me whatever you want to give me. I'm happy with whatever you want to give me. Baba, I don't want anything. Something like that, because that is supposed to be the smart thing to say when Baba asks you that. So time passed. 2 years later, I am called again for an interview. This time I was called with my wife. The first time it was just me. My wife was not there yet. It was not in the picture. We were not married yet. And when he calls me, I am rehearsing because he was calling other people as well. And while the other people were coming, I'm rehearsing in my mind the smart, intelligent thing that I'm going to say to impress him so he will be proud of me. Because I am saying the right thing this time. So I go to the interview room, and I'm ready to say whatever I have to say. Sit down. Baba looks at me, and he asks, "How is business?" I was totally unprepared. He knew all the drama that I was preparing. He knew all of that, so he changed the question. So I thought, well, Swami, and then I started to say something about business. He interrupted me immediately. He says, "Oh, I know. You know what?" Then he says, "But don't worry. Things will get better in October." I didn't even know that things were bad. Never mind about getting better in October. So I thought, I don't know what Swami is talking about. I was thinking, but you know what? One of my partners was doing some cheating, some fraudulent billing, which I didn't know anything about, and it was my partner. Baba knew everything about my business. He knew that this other doctor was doing wrong things, billing false claims, getting money. I discovered that. I was asked to pay back a rather large amount of money, 100,026. That's a lot of money. I was making good money, but that was still a lot of money. So I started making payments to the government, to Medicare, making payments, and you know something interesting? It was in October of maybe 2 or 3 years later, in October, everything was paid off. So Baba said, everything will be okay in October. So everything was fine. Wonderful. During that interview, I was with Carmen, my wife, who is sitting there back in the back. "Hey, Carmen, say hello. That's you. All right." Then Baba asked Carmen, "How are your children?" "We have no children." So Carmen says, "Swami, I don't have any children." Then we keep talking a little bit about other things. Then again, Baba says, "How are your children?" Now Carmen is starting to get confused. "Baba, I have no children. I don't have any children." 4 times, Baba asked the same question. "How are your children?" Finally, when Carmen says, "Swami, I don't have any children," he says, "What is your profession?" And Swami says, Carmen says, "Swami, I am a pediatrician." She's a pediatrician. She's a baby's doctor. And then Swami says, "Those children are your children." Like teaching her and teaching you, and I'm now bringing this story because I want to teach you something that Baba taught her and I want to share with you. If you are in the business of providing any kind of care, helping other people, those had to be treated like your own family. They are your family. And unless you do business thinking that those are my people, those are my family, I have to treat them as if they were my family, you are not doing what Swami was telling her to do. And this is very, especially if you are a doctor, psychologist, counselor, something like that. You have to treat everyone who comes to you as if they were your own family. Let me share another story. Well, let me continue with the interview a little bit. So many things happened during that interview that I will be here all the time. And by the way, Sri Kanthar, what time do I need to finish? I know that we started later. I love to talk, like 5:30? 5:25? Can you go like this at 5:20 so I know that I only have 5 minutes to wrap it up? Okay, good. So let's go back to the interview room. Swami is there, and Swami asked Carmen, "How are you doing?" And Carmen says, "Oh, I'm doing fine. I am okay, Swami." Swami looks at her and says, "No, you are not okay. You are in pain." And she was in pain. She was hurting all over. And then Swami says, "But don't worry. I'll give you a gift when we go out, and that will take care of your problems." You know what Swami did? When we were all, the whole group, we were, I don't know, like 9 people in the other big room. Swami goes like this and materializes a beautiful vibhuti box, all silver, with a lot of gems all around, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, beautiful, full of vibhuti. Carmen says that vibhuti was still warm, a little bit hot. Carmen starts taking that vibhuti all the time, anytime she had a chance, until there was no more vibhuti. It was empty. And you know what happened within a few hours? Vibhuti came back, and the vibhuti box was full of vibhuti again. She started taking that vibhuti. It's empty within a few hours. The vibhuti box is full of vibhuti again, 3 times. Swami gave her vibhuti for 3 times in that vibhuti box. After 3 times, no more vibhuti. It was empty and remained empty. But you know what? A condition that she had, the pains that she had, they left. They went away. She was cured. When we have faith in Swami, not only us are benefited from our connection, our devotion, our love to Swami, also our family members. I have one son, my youngest son, but he must be 39 or 40 probably. He was not much interested in Sai Baba. He's a very good boy, very good heart, but never cared too much about Swami. One day, he used to drive a pickup truck. One day, he's driving in this very deserted country road when out of nowhere, this really old lady who shouldn't have had a license to drive hit him, sent him to the outside of the road with the 4 wheels up. He didn't have any scratch, nothing. He was fine. But he was wondering, nobody's around here. This is a very deserted road. Nobody ever comes around here. I don't even know how this lady was here. What am I going to do? So, while he's thinking about that, or call the police, or I hope the police will come by, or something, he sees, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he sees this big truck, huge truck, in front, a little bit farther down in front of his car. So he's wondering, how this truck came here that I didn't see it? Well, it's there. So out of the truck, a very heavy, muscular, black man comes out and asks him, do you need some help to get your pickup truck out of the ditch? It was in a ditch, 4 wheels up. He said, yes, but I don't know what to do. He says, don't worry, I'll help you. So he goes, he puts a chain in the truck and starts slowly moving his truck, and slowly my son's pickup truck gets out of the ditch, turns over, is on the road again, few scratches on the pickup truck, but it was fine. So he's thinking, wow, this is wonderful. And then he's watching his pickup truck getting out of the ditch. When he looks to the front, the truck with the man inside is not there. It disappeared. It went somewhere. So he's looking at because he told me, it was a very straight country road, and he could look very, very far. There was no way he could drive that far, that quick, that fast. It just disappeared. And then it dawned on him. That driver was Sai Baba, he thought. And then he calls me on the phone very excited and tells me the whole story. And I just told him, yes, Alan, you are right. That driver was Sai Baba, who came to help you. Because Swami not only will help us, his devotees, but all your members are also under the umbrella of protection of Sai Baba. What a blessing. What a tremendous blessing to know that not only me, but also my children and maybe the children of their children. I don't know for how many generations, but we know that Baba sometimes does something good to someone young maybe, because of some things that the grandfather did. So we are covered. Let me go back to what to do and what not to do when we are facing problems. As I said before, we are all going to have problems. Problems is a part of life. If you don't want to have problems in life, then die. If you die, you don't have any problems. But if you're alive, you have to have problems. Problems will come. What not to do? Have you known people going away from Sai Baba when they don't get what they were expecting? Do you know anyone? Do you? Yeah. I know. And I have known people whom I thought they were very committed, faithful to Baba. And yet, when things didn't go their way, they leave Baba. They get angry at Baba and they leave. Because of what I said before, expectation. They are expecting that Baba will take care of the problem in the way they want. We don't know. We don't know what is good for us. Baba knows what is good for us, but we don't. And whatever happens to us is a Baba's decision. Good or bad, is Baba the one who is accountable for what is happening. I remember one time I was at the Pocomo Mountains. I don't know how far or how close is this from here. Maybe some of you might have been there. It was a regional retreat for this region, I think. Yeah? Or region 2? Okay. So that's mid-Atlantic. Okay. On that occasion, the main speakers were Bob and Barbara Bozzani from Tustin, California. And I remember I wanted to ask Swami something. And I'll be very honest with you. What I'm going to tell you now, I don't tell. When I tell this story, I don't tell most of the time, but I will share it with you. I was very worried and concerned because I had a marriage before Carmen. I'm very happy with Carmen. Carmen was Baba's sent. And I'm saying that just to say that. Carmen asked Baba if he sent me to her. And Baba said, yes, which is no. In USA, this is no. But that there is yes. And then he says yes. So we were sent for each other because of Baba. Now, I know, and you all know, that divorce is something that doesn't really exist too much in the Indian culture. People don't get divorced in the Indian culture. Some do, but most of the time don't. And I know, and I knew that Baba is not very happy with divorces because he has said so many times, you got the spouse that you got because that is the one that you need, not the one that you like. But that's the one that you need. So he doesn't approve divorce. I wanted to get out of that relationship. I wanted to get out of that marriage. But I know Baba will not be happy with that. And I know Baba sometimes approves things that appears to be contrary to what he has been preaching. So I am debating myself, gosh, I am so unhappy. This lady doesn't believe in Baba. He doesn't support my Baba's activities. I am so unhappy. She drinks. She eats meat. All of those things that I don't do anymore. I want to get out of this. But I know Baba will be not very pleased, not very happy with me. So I am consumed by that thinking when Bob Bazzani is in the men's side giving a talk. I wasn't paying any attention to what he was saying, to be quite honest. I don't know what he said. I don't even know what he was talking about because I was consumed with that thought. Baba, I want to get out of this situation. This marriage is so bad. What am I doing here? But I know you don't like it. Can you give me a sign that you will approve it if I do it? And I said, okay, I will test Baba. How? In the main stage, there were Salva Dharma symbols like this, big ones. 3 times maybe as big as those. Different colors. Those are the same color. And I look at one and I say, okay, Baba, mentally, if you are okay with allowing me to divorce, I want one of those 5 Sarvadharma symbols to come down. And I keep watching them and watching them. Nothing happened. I thought, yeah, of course, I knew. Baba is not happy with that decision, so I don't know what I'll do. But then I start looking around, and before I know, I look at the stage, and one of the 5 big Sarvadharma symbols is on the floor. Somehow it fell. It was there. And I thought, Swami gave me the sign that I was asking for. So he's okay with me divorcing. That's fine. Happy. For just a few minutes. Because you know how the human mind is? Doubts. I started doubting Swami with his lila, with his confirmation. And then I started thinking, well, I don't know. Maybe the nail was not big enough to hold that symbol. Or maybe the wire in the back of the Sarvadharma symbol was very flimsy. It was just a coincidence. I don't know if Baba did that or not. And then I go and test, challenge Baba again. Okay, Swami, forgive me for my doubts. Probably you gave me very good signal, the one that I was asking you, for one of those, any one of those 5 symbols to come down. But I don't know if it was just a coincidence. If it is true, Swami, that you will be okay with allowing me to get divorced, I want not just anyone, but I want the pink one there to come down. And you know what? In a couple of 2 or 3 minutes, the pink Sarvadharma symbol came down. And then I thought, okay, Swami, I got it. Sorry, but I got it, finally. So then I got divorced. And he had things prepared to meet that lady, wonderful lady who is my wife today, to meet her and be very happy. Swami takes care of everything even before we know. Money. There was one time when I had to pay taxes. I told you I was making good money, a lot of money. And therefore I had to pay a lot of taxes. So the time came for me to pay taxes, and I didn't have all that I needed to pay. I had most of it, but not all of it. So I'm really concerned because today's the last day. At 2 o'clock, if that money, the total amount of money is not in the bank to pay those taxes, I will have to pay fines and all of those kind of things. Interest. So I'm worried. I said, well, I will have to pay that. 12 o'clock. The postman comes to my office like he always does at that time with a bunch of letters. One letter was from my bank. And I opened that letter and I see that it is a bank statement. A bank statement showing that I had in that account money, actually the exact amount of money to the penny that I needed to make my payment to the IRS. But this is what is interesting. That bank account has been closed for 6 months. How a closed bank account can show that it has money? So I got confused. I go to the bank, talk to the teller, hey, this is what is happening. She says, well, I don't know what to say. Let's go to the president of this branch. We go to the president. He looks at everything in the computer. He says, yes, you are right. This account was closed 6 months ago. How is that money there? Who put it there? How can you put money in a closed account? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But he says, take the money anyways. Don't worry. It will be more costly and more troublemaking to try to find out how that money got there. Don't worry. It's your account, even if it is closed, it's your account. Get all of that money, put it in your current account, which is active, and take it. Oh my God. Needless to say that I was a very happy man because I was able to pay my taxes on time that day. Baba takes care of everything. What not to do? Expectations or don't get angry at Swami. When things don't get your way, don't get angry at Swami. Whatever is happening is his doing. And if we don't like it, it's because this is the best thing that can happen to us. Can you believe that? Will you believe that? Will you believe that whatever is happening to you, even if it is painful, even if you don't like it, even if it is not what you wanted, can you believe that it is Swami's doing for your own good? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Yeah. Only 2 or 3 people believe that. Everybody else doesn't believe that. Okay. Better believe it. Because Swami, whatever he does, is out of love. Whatever he does is for our own benefit, even if at that time doesn't seem to be that way. Let me check my notes to see what I am leaving out. Just 1 minute. Okay. I think that I had covered everything that I had in mind to share with you today, except the most important part. I told you at the beginning, I'm going to share with you how to stay close to Swami when you are having problems. And I haven't covered that. I told you what not to do. Don't expect, don't get angry, don't think that Baba is doing something because he doesn't know. So, what to do? What can we do? What shall we do? I have here some notes. And I have here that there are 5 things that you can do, that we should do when we're having problems and things are not going our way. Number 1, stop blaming and complaining. No blaming and complaining. Things are not going your way. Stop blaming everybody else. Stop blaming Baba. Anything that is painful that comes our way is the direct result of our previous lifetimes, our previous deeds, something that we did wrong. Now we're paying for that. It was us. We shouldn't blame anybody. And actually, let me see, I think that I have a quote from Swami here that talks about that. Okay. This is what Swami says. You blame and accuse others for your sufferings and unhappiness. This is wrong. The other person is only an instrument. It is only your evil thoughts that are punishing you. This is Swami's words. So, blaming other people other than us, it doesn't going to solve anything. What about complaining? I'm sure you know someone. Do you know someone who is always complaining about something? Do you? I know. I'm sure you should know someone. You know, those kind of people who are always complaining about anything and everything, never seems to be happy, never seems to be okay with anything that anybody does. It is always a problem. They are always complaining. That is disgusting, isn't it? Who wants to be around these kind of people? If you know someone who is like that, just remember how fast you wanted to go away from that person when they come to you, and instead of talking about anything nice, they just start complaining about this and about that and about the other, and complain. And you don't want to be there. You don't want to be with that person anymore. So blaming and complaining is something that we need to avoid. We don't need to do that. We're having problems. Vent your problems, maybe a time or two with someone. Tell someone how you are feeling. That's okay. But don't keep going like those batteries that will never die, going. You remember that advertisement? Because that doesn't going to lead you anywhere. This is what Baba says about about complaining too much. Baba says, he who shouts and swears and advertises his worries to everyone he meets and craves for sympathy, such a person can never be my devotee. As simple as that. Those who are all the time complaining about something wrong in the world, something wrong with someone or with everyone, can never be considered Baba devotees, said by Baba. So I hope none of you are in that bad habit of complaining all the time. But you know what? If you are, and you only know that, nobody needs to know, but if you are, take this weekend as an opportunity to change some things in your life, in your behavior, in the way you are living. Take this weekend. You know what? I don't know why you are here. I don't know why you came. But I know why I came. I came here because I was praying to Baba. Baba, put some words of wisdom coming from you that will motivate, that will inspire someone here to move and make some changes, to make some transformations in their lives. You have been living the same way for too long. More of the same when you go back home tomorrow, after 6:30, to go back to the same life, to go back to more of the same. Let me tell you what, it's not worth it to be here. You're here not just to have a good time, enjoy nature, be relaxed, be away from problems. You know, you're here to get something out of this retreat. I don't know what it is. It is different from everybody. Something Dr. Sunan said, something that I say, maybe a song, maybe a bhajan, maybe a walk outside. I don't know what it is. But there will be things that will touch your heart and will make you feel like, yes, I want to change something. Maybe blaming and complaining. Or I want to change something else in my life. I don't know what needs to be changed in your life. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But we are in a path leading to God. And we have to be constantly working on transforming, changing our lives. If you are comfortably just cruising, not making any effort about changing anything, and you are okay the way you are, you will get nowhere. Spiritually speaking, you will get nowhere. Spirituality is easy, but it's hard. Both. It's easy because we know very easily what we need to do. Swami spoke about what needs to be done for so many years, time and time and again. We know what we need to do. But are we doing it consistently? Most of the time? All of the time? No, we are not. If we do it at all, we do it sometimes when it's convenient, when it's comfortable, when it doesn't take too much, then we do something and we try to apply Baba's teachings. That's not the way it works. So, please, I beg you, take this weekend seriously. Think about what you hear here. Think about what you need to change. If not now, when? If not you, who is going to change it? Are you going to just happen like that? Take it seriously, make some decisions, and hopefully when you go back home, you will start doing some things, at least some things. Maybe not everything, maybe it's too much to change, but some things you will be doing differently that you know needs to be changed. Second thing that it will be good to do when you are having problems and you feel distant to Swami. Talk to someone, vent your feelings, look for someone who can understand you, and tell that person how frustrated or how angry, how disappointed you are with life, with someone, with Swami, because your things are not happening. Vent. Just from talking problems, when we have problems and we talk about it, for some reason, they seem to be less, they seem to be better. Sometimes they even seem to go away. Have you seen people who don't need any advice? They want to talk to you and they just need someone to listen, and you just listen. And when the conversation is finished, they say, "Oh, I feel so good now that I told someone." Yeah. Vent those feelings. Number 3, please, when you are tense, give yourself a break. Do whatever you need to do to get out of this stressful situation. Take a break. And you will see when you come back again to the same situation, somehow you will feel better, more competent to deal with that problem. So take breaks from time to time so you can deal better with problems. Number 4, when you are upset about something, think, what is it really that I am upset about? Many times we think we are upset about this or about that was said or about something. And many times there are other layers, deeper layers, profound layers that are the real reason why you are upset at something. And number 5, finally, the most important one. The most important one. Trust Swami. Can you trust Swami even when things are not happening your way? Can you trust Swami anytime, all the time? Can you? Can you? Only 2 or 3? Yeah, most of you, all of you, practically all of you. Wonderful. Swami will bless you. Because if you trust Swami, you are trusting God. And when you trust God, anything can happen. You remember what Dr. Sunam said? That student who said, Swami, I want you. And Swami said, you are smart, because if you have me, you have everything. You trust Swami, and everything or anything can happen on his time. Remember, on his time. This is one of the problems. Sometimes we want things to happen in our time. We don't know when is the best time. We think we know, but only Swami knows when is the best time for something to happen. If it is supposed to happen, it might not be supposed to happen. So trust Swami. Continue trusting Swami. That's the main thing. Let me get one more quote from Swami. In all your efforts, if you trust a higher power, call God by any names. You know Swami is all names, all forms. You call him any names you want. And get any form you want, whatever is more appealing to you. But when you trust a higher power, it's ready, the higher power is ready to come to help you. You know, with all the power that Swami has, it is very difficult for him to come and help you when you have no faith, when you don't trust him, when you doubt of him, when you are angry at him, when you blame him, when you complain about him. It's very difficult for him to do anything. You are closed. You are a closed door, not allowing his grace to come to your life. So even though Swami is all the time trying to do things for us, did you know that? He's every second trying to do something good for us, to help us to move along the spirituality way. It is us who are not receptive. Swami says, trust in my wisdom. Do you think he knows? Do you think that Swami knows what he's doing? Is he confused sometimes and he makes mistakes and do things which are wrong? Of course not. Of course not. How can God be wrong? How can Swami make mistakes? How can Swami not know anything? He knows everything. He knows everything about you and about anything and everything. So this quote ends by Swami saying, trust in my wisdom, I don't make mistakes. He says that. I don't make mistakes. Let me share. We have about 10, 15 more minutes. Okay, let me know. 10 minutes, okay. There was a lady who had a throat cancer. She was a Baba devotee. And she had a lot of faith in Swami. The doctor said, if we take that cancer out, you will not be able to talk. We will have to open a hole in your throat so you can breathe. Tracheostomy is called. And we don't know how long you will live. So he thought, oh, thanks a lot. But no, thank you. I don't want that. Don't do surgery. So she talked to me and she prayed a lot. One day I am in my bathroom in front of the big mirror that I have there, shaving. Getting ready to go to work, shaving in the morning. When I looked down, I saw on the counter 3 vibhuti bags. 3 vibhuti bags. Not just any vibhuti bag. Those of you who had gotten vibhuti bag in the past when Swami was alive, you know that there are some special vibhuti bags that he gives to people. He gives to sometimes to the Sevadal, sometimes to people who are there. There is a kind of red basket, exactly, with all of those, and he goes and he gives a lot to people. Actually, I might still have some. I have gotten that several times in the past. Let me see. So let me see if I have one here. I see 3 of those vibhuti. Yeah, it's here. I have one almost empty, maybe one of the last ones. He does that. He gives that away to people. And I got it from him too. So I saw those 3 vibhuti bags, and I thought, what is this? Where this came from? I gave it to the lady who was suffering from cancer. She took it. Next time that she went to the doctor said, we don't know what happened here. Cancer is gone. That was quite a few years back. She just died last year, not from cancer. Cancer is gone. Okay, come. You need to come to what they call in medicine, in hospitals, to a grand round. A grand round means we're going to present your case and we're going to tell everybody how wonderful is medicine that cures you from that cancer. She was laughing inside because she knew it wasn't any medicine. She knew it was the vibhuti from Swami. All right, I'm going to finish now. With 3 more things that you can do. When you are having problems and you feel Swami is not helping you, you don't understand why he's not helping you, you don't know why that is happening to you, have a sincere and honest conversation with Swami. Do you talk to Swami sometimes? Do you talk to Swami all the time? Some people do. Talk to him. Tell him how you feel about this situation, how scared you may be because of what is going on. Talk to him like a friend, like a father, like a mother, because he's all of that and even more. Talk to him. Talk to Swami. Number 2, believe that he has a better plan for you down the line. Maybe what is going on now, what is happening now, is not good, apparently, seemingly, but that will lead into something better later on. And finally think, what is the purpose of my pain? Why am I suffering? Why is that happening to me? What lessons do I need to learn from this painful experience? Think about that. In every painful experience, there are always lessons that we need to learn and apply in our lives. So I am going to conclude in here, and I am going to remind you again, use this weekend for your own self-transformation. If someone says something that touches your heart, don't let it go away. Grab it and seriously start making plans for the time when you go back home, how your life is going